And now, it's Saturday at 11 o'clock and time for the Real News Radio. Here's Farron.
Hello, and welcome to the Real News, heard Saturdays, 11 a.m., 1400, 1520 WSIC. I want to start today by saying we're going to address taxes both today and next week. The Real News crew is going to Washington Tuesday to cover the Freedom Rally tax protest on the Capitol lawn next Saturday. We will have interviews and a report on this protest, numbering possibly in the tens of thousands, and I expect it to get very little coverage in the mainstream press. Today our guest is going to be Grover Norquist, President of Americans for Tax Reform. We're honored to have him on shortly, and after that we will take your phone calls. But before we dive into the facts concerning our extreme overtaxation, I have a Real News information red alert, and this is coming from the American Family Association. McDonald's CEO company will put full resources behind the gay agenda. Pastor Tuggle, if you're listening, you want to hear this one. McDonald's has signed on to a nationwide effort to promote gay and lesbian business ventures. According to McDonald's CEO Jim Skinner, McDonald's will aggressively promote the homosexual agenda. In remarks on McDonald's website concerning the company becoming a member of the National Gay and Lesbian Chamber of Commerce, Skinner wrote, "Being a socially responsible organization is a fundamental part of who we are. We have an obligation to use our size and our resources to make a difference in the world, and we do." The company gave an undisclosed amount of money to the NGLCC in return for being recognized as a major promoter of the homosexual agenda. In return, NGLCC placed Richard Ellis, Vice President of Communications of McDonald's USA, on the NGLCC Board of Directors. Ellis was quoted as saying, "I'm thrilled to join the National Gay and Lesbian Chamber of Commerce team and ready to get to work. I share the NGLCC's passion for business growth and development within the LGBT community, and I look forward to playing a role in moving these important innovations forward." McDonald's refused to comment to WorldNet Daily on the placement of its executive on the board of the gay advocacy organization, but did send an email confirming the corporation's support for the agenda of the homosexual business lobby. McDonald's is indeed a corporate partner and organizational ally of the NGLCC, and our Vice President of U.S. Communications, Richard Ellis, was recently elected to its board of directors, said Heidi M. Barker, Senior Director of Media Relations for McDonald's. NGLCC describes itself as promoting the LGBT community first and always including same-sex marriage. NGLCC gives credit to sponsors such as McDonald's for its financial and other support that helps in their work. Through the commitment of our corporate partners, the NGLCC has been able to advance ideas and causes for the LGBT business community, said the chamber. I've often said homosexuals are free to do whatever they want to in their bedroom, but nobody can stop them, but that's not good enough. It has to be accepted, it has to be indoctrinated, it has to be put in everyone's face. So McDonald's funds the homosexual movement and the very morally bankrupt people that lead the way in our society's decline. I think I can let them keep their big laugh. All right, we're going to go into taxes today. And after we have our guest, I want everyone to call in and tell us what you think, because I adamantly believe that we are severely overtaxed. Taxes, taxes, taxes. We are taxed practically at every move we make. I think it is a disgrace the amount of tax being taken away from the American people by our spend-happy government. Jesse James carried a gun when he committed highway robbery. We are taxed, if you add them all up, we're taxed at 50 to 60% of our income. Now let me say here, because I've done this before, someone will call saying, well, we've got to have police, we've got to have schools. So let me say now, yes, we have to pay some taxes. Schools, roads, police, and other services have to be in place. But I'm adamantly opposed to being fleeced of my income by out-of-control, spend-happy government. They take your money before you even get it. What if you got to keep that 28% deducted for Social Security and all the rest all year? And then at the end of the year, the government wanted you to pay 1/4 of your wages back in one big lump sum. We'd all scream bloody murder. But since they pick your pocket before you ever receive it, like a slave master treats a slave, we all just accept it and go on our merry way, and then pay out of what is left of our 72% of your paycheck, sales tax 6.75, gas tax of I think 46 cents a gallon in North Carolina, property tax, and a whole host of taxes, until the government indirectly or directly soaks you for 50 to 60% of your total income. Then the thing that sickens me the most is while our elderly struggle on their meager Social Security checks and our infrastructure decays, our government totally refuses to secure our borders. We dole out money by the billions to a whole host of countries around the world. The lunatics have taken over the asylum. If anyone in America in a top position in a bank or a corporation handled the finances of a business the way our government handles the American people's money, they would be immediately fired and probably thrown in jail. Well, if it's good enough for us, why is it good enough for them? I say it's high time we take a look at our unjust situation. How can we, the residents in this area, start a movement to effect some change before change is all that we have in our pockets? Try to upgrade some property. March down and start buying your permission, call permits. Then wade through the restrictions, the codes, the license, the inspections, and the red tape. We'll be covering this a little more here shortly. We're going to go to Brian here for a few minutes with his blog.
1984, all over again. The City of London has once again reaffirmed its unspoken commitment to suppress individual privacy and liberty. It was announced this week that all 31,000 police officers of the Metropolitan Police, otherwise known as Scotland Yard, will be implanted with microchip tracking devices to track their every movement 24/7 to within 2 feet of their location. The new device, called the Automated Personal Location System, APLS, can also track officers underground. This, of course, is only one more step in London's pledge to rob its people of privacy. London already employs 4.2 million CCTV cameras to monitor its citizenry. The average Londoner can expect to be caught on camera an average of 300 times every day. In the case of true irony, within 200 yards of the late George Orwell's home, there's a tree of 32 CCTV cameras. 1984 has truly arrived in London, and as Orwell himself said, in a time of universal deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act. And the truth is that liberty, individuality, and privacy are quickly becoming a page from history.
That's exactly right. A lot of people maybe don't know it, but the National ID Act that was supposed to take effect May of 2000, and several of the states are resisting it, South Carolina for one. The National ID Act had in it a new driver's license with RFID chip so everyone can be tracked. Big Brother is moving with incrementalism, slowly taking us over, tracking us. You turn on your cell phone, what's the first thing it says? Global position and satellite. All you got to do is watch CSI or any of those shows. Someone's missing, they're tracking them by their cell phone. They can look at the pictures you take on your cell phone. Privacy is a thing of the past. And we're going to go to phone calls when we come back from our guest. Remember, the phone number is 704-873-1400. We're here on WSIC 1400-1520. If you are in the Davie County area, we've got a new number, 336-499-0681, and you can email us at onair@therealnewsradio.com, and our website's therealnewsradio.com. And after the break, we'll come back with our guest from Americans for Tax Reform. 760374.